On October 14, 1972, three highly experienced divers, Brett Gilliam, Ron Temple, and Robbie McLean, embarked on a scientific dive off St. Croix' North Shore. Their mission, tied to a marine laboratory, involved checking traps and sampling devices at depths of up to 220 feet, a challenging technical dive. Equipped with double tanks, the team began their descent into Cane Bay, confident in their expertise and preparation. However, during their dive, they noticed two large oceanic white-tip sharks unusually close to shore. These sharks, typically found in deeper, more remote waters, were massive, about 12 feet long, and among the most aggressive shark species. While the divers were initially cautious, but not alarmed, their proximity raised concerns. The unexpected presence of these predators hinted at potential danger. As the divers ascended after completing their tasks, Robbie signaled that his air supply was low. Following their dive plan, Brett instructed Robbie to ascend to 160 feet for decompression, while he went back to check on Ron. What unfolded next was catastrophic. Brett saw a mass of bubbles and silt rising below and rushed to investigate, assuming Ron had suffered an air failure. Instead, he found Ron thrashing in a cloud of debris, with a large shark latched onto his left thigh. Brett fought to free Ron by striking the shark, but another shark joined the attack, biting Ron's already injured leg. The ferocity of the attack dragged both divers off a ledge into deeper waters. Despite their combined efforts kicking and striking the sharks, they couldn't fend off the predators entirely. Brett's situation grew increasingly dire as he battled exhaustion, hypoxia, and narcosis at a depth exceeding 325 feet. With his air supply depleted and Ron unconscious, Brett made a critical decision to ascend, knowing the risks of decompression sickness. As he swam toward the surface, he struggled to breathe, taking only shallow, insufficient gulps of air from his regulator. The crushing depth caused his vision to narrow, and blackness began to creep into his consciousness. Despite these challenges, Brett continued his ascent, driven by an instinct to survive. At 30 feet from the surface, he passed out, but his buoyancy compensator, which had a small amount of trapped air, expanded as the water pressure decreased, carrying him to the surface. Upon reaching the surface, Brett's body reflexively took a breath, keeping him alive, but unconscious. When he finally regained consciousness, Brett saw the shore and swam desperately, knowing he needed immediate help. His remarkable willpower and the buoyancy device were the thin line between life and death in those harrowing moments. Barely alive, Brett reached the shore, where he collapsed. A couple on the beach noticed his struggle and rushed to help. Fortunately, they were a doctor and a nurse familiar with decompression sickness. Brett informed them about his critical condition and his friend Ron's death before passing out again. Recognizing the severity of his injuries, the couple arranged for Brett to be transported to the nearest hyperbaric chamber in Puerto Rico. Decompression sickness, also known as the bends, occurs when gas dissolved in a diver's tissues forms bubbles during a rapid ascent, potentially causing extreme pain, tissue damage, or even death. Given Brett's rapid ascent from nearly 400 feet, his condition was life-threatening. Brett's journey to the hyperbaric chamber was fraught with challenges. Initially transported by plane, his oxygen supply ran out mid-flight, causing him to stop breathing. Dr. Horace Neural, an emergency doctor on board, immediately placed Brett on a ventilator. However, without sufficient oxygen, Brett's condition deteriorated rapidly. The initial plan to reach Roosevelt Roads Naval Station in Puerto Rico was disrupted when the chamber there was found to be occupied. This forced a reroute to a facility in Rincon, a delay Brett could not afford. Desperate to save him, the pilot made the unprecedented decision to land the plane on a highway near San Juan. Local authorities halted traffic, and a Coast Guard helicopter met the plane on the highway. Brett spent 2 days in a hyperbaric chamber in Rincon, Puerto Rico, recovering from severe decompression sickness. The treatment, which simulates a gradual ascent to safely expel gas bubbles from the body, was critical to his survival. Released on Monday, Brett faced a new challenge. He had no money or identification, having been transported in only his wetsuit. Despite this, he managed to find a familiar taxi driver who agreed to take him across St. Croix to his father's house. Along the way, Brett noticed a gathering at a beachfront restaurant where he was a regular visitor. Curious, he asked the driver to stop. Entering the restaurant, he discovered it was a memorial service for himself. Having been presumed dead after the dive, Brett's sudden appearance shocked and elated attendees. The event, initially a somber occasion, transformed into a celebration of life. This unexpected reunion marked the end of Brett's extraordinary ordeal and highlighted the disbelief and relief of his survival. While Brett was recovering, his friend Robbie had reported that both Brett and Ron had died during the dive. With no evidence to the contrary, the community accepted this tragic news. By the time Brett returned to St. Croix, a memorial service was already underway at a local beachfront restaurant. The gathering was a somber event, attended by friends and acquaintances mourning Brett's presumed death. When Brett walked into the room, still recovering from his ordeal, the shock was palpable. Attendees, initially stunned, quickly shifted from grief to joy, transforming the event into a genuine celebration of life. Brett's reappearance not only defied expectations, but also brought a sense of closure and relief to those who cared for him. This surreal moment highlighted the extraordinary nature of his survival and became a symbol of hope amidst tragedy. Brett's unexpected return from the brink of death became a story that would be remembered by all who witnessed it. While Brett fought for his life and was being transported for medical care, Robbie was completing his own decompression stops, unaware of the miraculous rescue efforts underway. Decompression, a gradual ascent to release built-up gases, was necessary to prevent life-threatening conditions like the bends. During this time, Robbie was consumed with sorrow, convinced that both Brett and Ron were dead. The last sight he had of his dive buddies was of them being attacked by sharks and falling off a rocky ledge into the abyss. Unable to assist due to his low air supply, Robbie had no choice but to ascend alone, grappling with guilt and grief. Brett's survival hinged on extraordinary coordination between various parties, including local authorities, emergency responders, and medical professionals. After realizing that traditional methods of transport would take too long, the team devised a creative and high-stakes solution, landing the plane on a highway near San Juan to expedite Brett's transfer to the Coast Guard. Police stopped traffic to clear the route, and the Coast Guard helicopter was ready and waiting. This seamless transition ensured Brett received the oxygen he desperately needed before being flown to Rincon. These quick decisions and the collaboration between agencies exemplify how resourcefulness and teamwork can make the difference in life and death situations. The harrowing events of October 14, 1972, remain a powerful reminder of the risks and unpredictability of deep-sea diving. The tragic loss of Ron Temple underscores the dangers posed by aggressive marine life and the importance of safety protocols during technical dives. Brett's miraculous survival illustrates the resilience of the human spirit, the critical role of teamwork, and the life-saving potential of advanced diving equipment like buoyancy compensators. Moreover, the coordinated efforts of local responders, medical professionals, and the Coast Guard demonstrate the profound impact of quick thinking and collaboration. Brett's unexpected appearance at his own memorial service also reveals the emotional roller coaster faced by his friends and community. While this story is marked by tragedy, it is ultimately a celebration of survival and the extraordinary lengths humans will go to save a life. For divers and non-divers alike, the tale serves as both a cautionary narrative and an inspiring testament to perseverance against all odds. If you found this story fascinating, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Was this one of the most incredible survival stories you've heard? Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more gripping stories like this one. It's your support that helps us continue sharing these unbelievable tales. Thanks for watching.